I was living, 200 miles away from London, and Digital Mystics, the first people to really release quote-unquote dubstep, I saw their first gig out there, and it just blew me away, and it was what they were playing in the back room to the drum and bass heads. Sounded to me like what they were playing in the main room on the dub sound systems. I was like, this is the same thing, and I can make that. So maybe I can do that. The stage is always the biggest sweet release ever, but when you're on a bus for 7 weeks, I make it my home. As much as I like to leave the bus, I do love it. It's just my house. It's my own little sanctuary back here. Tour is actually quite nice to have large amounts of time where you're actually not needed to do anything. I decided for the tour I've just made music exclusively on the iPad. I got a dock for the iPad, so I've got digital ins and outs, MIDI ins and outs. I got a big Casio synth back there as well. I make music in a linear fashion, like any other dance music producer, like in lines on a computer screen. So to actually load samples onto pads, start playing it out like an MPC, is a completely backwards way of making music for me. So it makes it like so much more fun. I started getting into music from a very, very early age, playing in bands, playing in groups. I played in a reggae band for about 3 or 4 years in the UK. I basically kind of learned music production software by recording real instruments and kind of in the way you would in Pro Tools in a regular studio, It was only later that I came to think about drum machines and synthesizers. I think generally dubstep was made by a lot of kind of hood up, very serious sort of London grimy dude kind of things, and I wasn't. I was the jolly guy from Leeds, like, hey, let's have a party, hey, let's have a rave up, So I came at it from that angle, which is kind of probably why my stuff turned out like it did. Somebody to So that I took a genre and flipped it around and changed it around by sitting in my bedroom in England making a load of stupid sounds. It's amazing. Of course, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But dubstep is so split up now, and that's a good thing. I love that it's so split up. I love the fact that there's people coming to my show tonight who would never go to a Skrillex show, and there's people going to Skrillex's show next month who would never in a million years go to a Rusko show. That's so crazy that it's so big and it's so separate, but that's amazing.